Around the time the 8th generation console era was happening, a lot of kids were debating on what console to get, the Xbox One or the PS4. However, when I was asked, I would usually say I wanted a Wii U. What's up, Danksters? Thanks for coming back to a brand new video, and today we are going to be discussing the Wii U a little bit. Nintendo released the Wii U on November 18th, 2012 in North America, and immediately I wanted one. And while I wouldn't get one on release day, I would get one 2 years later. I got a black 32GB Wii U, and me and my brother played the absolute hell out of that thing. So many nights dedicated to Smash Brothers on Wii U, my first Wii U game actually, and what a way to start this console off. My brother and I were really into this game, and it's probably the last Smash Brothers game I'm actually going to truly get into like that. The Wii U era and Smash Bros for Wii U was just a special time, and I don't think it's ever going to be replicated again, at least not for me. I did own the 3DS version first, and when you had both the 3DS version and the Wii U version, you unlocked Mewtwo, the first DLC character for Smash Wii U, and that was like really cool. And it also was a really cool period because Nintendo really loved connecting the 3DS and the Wii U together, kind of like companion consoles, and we just don't have anything like that today. The Wii U does hold up graphically to this day, and Smash Brothers is a prime example of that. At the time, this was the best looking Wii U game in my opinion, and it just holds up so well even today. Just the overall perfect feeling Smash Brothers in my opinion. But after Smash, I kinda needed another Wii U game to play. I just got this brand new console, and one game is not gonna do it for me. Sure, Smash by itself is plenty, and it's the reason I bought the console, but you know, to give the console a little bit of longevity, I kinda need another game. So I was walking at my local PX one day, and I stumbled upon WiiU. Quite frankly, a hidden gem on the platform. Nowadays, Ubisoft has ported Zombie to modern day consoles, but for the time, this was a really unique Wii U game. Since Nintendo really wanted to implement the gamepad, WiiU made sure to take full advantage of that, as the gamepad allows you to access your storage and access the scanner in the game. And graphically, I gotta say, it's not that bad. This was a launch title for the Wii U at that too, so WiiU still holds up pretty well today. Now, I'm not gonna go much into it because I do plan to make a dedicated video on this one day, so I'll just end it with saying that WiiU is a really fun time and you should check it out. And that's pretty much it right there. For the longest time, these two games were the only games I had in my collection. After I had my fun with the Wii U, I bought an Xbox One, and then all the time I spent on the Wii U just went right out the window, and I made room for the Xbox One. So I didn't really get much into collecting for the Wii U since it was a rival console and I wanted Xbox One stuff. However, within the last 2 years, I have really gotten into collecting for the Wii U. The more and more I think about it, the Wii U was just a really compelling console that had a lot of charm to it, and that really draws me to it. And looking back at it even further, the Wii U came out around the time that I had the best gaming experience ever, so I kind of clumped that in with it. So I bit the bullet one day and I went out and I got myself a white Wii U, an 8GB model unfortunately, but with a couple of thumb drives that I plan to get, that 8GB problem is going to be no problem at all. And I'm having quite a bit of fun collecting for the console because the Wii U had one of the most weird but also best libraries that any console has ever had in my opinion. It was just so variety based and so weirdly focused. And I figured if I'm going to collect for it, why not do it right now? Because the Wii U is at a point in its life where it's still at this weird phase where people don't care about it still, so the games are relatively cheap, and I've been jumping on those deals as much as I can and as quick as I can, within reason of course. The first party support on this system is incredible. It's up there with some of the best lineups with the GameCube and I think the Switch now. And I have finally been able to get some titles that I have been hearing a lot about and I have never really got the chance to play myself. One of those being Mario Kart 8. My girlfriend and I are currently playing through it and having a blast. It's such a nice polished Mario Kart game. The graphics here are beautiful. Nintendo really knows their way around the hardware here, and it shows. It's just a great game all around. My history of Mario Kart is kinda rocky, but playing Mario Kart 8 has brought back that love for the franchise, and I can't wait to complete this, and I think I actually might go out of my way and get the deluxe version, which I know I should have done with in the beginning, but I just couldn't help myself. It adds to the Wii U collection, and now I got Mario Kart 8 on it. Some of the ones I am glad and so happy and thankful that I was able to find and have in my collection are the Zelda titles. Yes, I have gotten most of the Zelda titles. I'm working on getting Breath of the Wild. I know where it's at, relatively cheap price like most of them. The big kickers we're getting Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD. Even if it is a Nintendo Select, it was still kind of hard to get. These games are rapidly shooting up in price, so getting a hold of them was just an ultimate steal for the collection. Wind Waker HD has always been a title I've wanted ever since they announced it. I was a big fan of the GameCube game and I never really completed it, but I had a second chance now and I really wanted Wind Waker HD because the graphics were just outstanding the way Nintendo was showing it off. And when you play it, I can't really show it because the capture card only does 720p, but playing in this game full 1080p looks amazing. I do think the bloom here is a little too much in areas, but I will be a complete jackass if I let that ruin the entire experience of Wind Waker HD. If anything, the cartoony art style just pops more here. I have been really excited to play Wind Waker again, and now that the fact that it's in HD widescreen just makes it even better. And the other game, as you saw, was Twilight Princess HD. Now, a fun fact is that the original Twilight Princess on GameCube was the very first Zelda game I had ever played seriously and ever owned. I lost my copy, unfortunately, but I do have the HD version now. This game looks amazing. Truly, it does. However, coming off the Wind Waker HD version, I don't know. I guess I just expected a little more here. It is really cool to play through this again, and I'm loving seeing the widescreen and all the textures in HD, but I don't know, I just feel like something is missing from Twilight Princess that made the HD version of Wind Waker stand out a bit more. Either way, I'm loving the game, I'm playing it. I'm not that far in it, as you can see in the footage, but I plan to play further. However, my attention has been on another Zelda game, and that being Hyrule Warriors. I am absolutely loving Hyrule Warriors. It's a little weird that I'm getting into a spin-off game, which is another spin-off of another series, but Hyrule Warriors is actually something special. Now again, there is a definitive version of this game, and if you are going to play it, then play that version, but at the time of this release, this was the new 3D Zelda on the Wii U. You have to think, the other Zelda games had already released before, but Hyrule Warriors was a brand new Zelda game for the Wii U, so at the time it had the shoulder of being the new 3D Zelda game, and for that, it makes this a little unique thing. So the people over there who made Dynasty Warriors decided to give their game the old Zelda treatment, and then we got Hyrule Warriors. When my parents got me and my siblings our Wii back in the day, the game I got was New Super Mario Bros. Wii. And I absolutely loved that game. So it makes sense that New Super Mario Bros. U would be the perfect fit for my collection. I even got the one with New Super Luigi U in it. I'm not very far in this game, like, at all, but it is pretty decent fun. I know the stigma that this franchise gets and all the hate it gets as well, but I do have to say, at the end of the day, these games are still pretty quality titles. Just a bit on the plain side. Now, the Wii U is still considered part of the 8th generation of consoles with the Xbox One and PS4, but it came out first, and it came out around the time that the PS3 and Xbox 360 were still reigning champions of that era. So we would get a lot of games that would come out for those consoles on the Wii U as well, marketed as better versions or at least just on par. And getting these games for the collection is really fascinating for me because the Wii U is supposed to be on the same par as the Xbox 360, so the fact that it can play like Mass Effect 3 for an example is wild to me. But this is just a weird release overall. Now, I don't know if this is just the game or the port, but the Wii U is barely holding this together. Case in point, my first death. Ah, the power of the Wii U. Then there was Black Ops 2, which, believe it or not, released the same day as the 360 and PS3 versions did, and This game is just as choppy for some reason. Isn't the Wii U supposed to be just as strong as the Xbox 360? What's going on here? This game doesn't really look any better than the counterparts, and it's missing content on top of that. The controls are really messed up here, with no way of changing them either. You are stuck with how the game is. Honestly though, are you buying the Wii U to play Call of Duty Black Ops 2? Just the fact that it made it to the console is the fact that I find so fascinating and why I had to have it for the collection. But I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of frustrating to record this. I love Black Ops 2, but this was just a very wonky version of it. However, the gamepad on a lot of these games do have extra features on the screen. Like for Black Ops 2, it has your objectives laid out on the screen, or you can switch it to the TV screen if you want. Mario Kart 8 has the horn that can be displayed on here, or the map, or it can have the race displayed on the screen as well. I'm getting off topic here, but my point is they just needed to do something with this gamepad. But overall, if you wanted just the base vanilla version of Black Ops 2, minus some things, well, the Wii U's got you covered, and it's a decent port for that. But just because it released on here is the oddity and why I wanted it. Besides that, it's probably most likely going to be the first party support titles that I go for. Case in point, two games I'm about to show you is Star Fox Zero and Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. Both of these games are extremely polarizing to their fan bases and are known as not that great games. However, just by looking at them, you can see that Nintendo charm in them, and the reason why I picked them up was because, well, Nintendo looked like they went out of their way to market these. Probably to make up for the fact that they're awful games, or I'm sorry, awful game and awful application. The Wii U would also get Sonic games. Yes, and as a big Sonic collector, I had to get these, and while not my favorite games in the franchise, it is still really cool to have these added to the collection. This was during that deal Nintendo made with Sega to get 3 exclusive games for the Wii U, and it's unfortunate that these were the Sonic games that we would actually end up getting for the platform. Sonic Lost World is a 7 out of 10 at best. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games 2014 is okay, and Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, well, it kind of speaks for itself. That game is pretty much well known. I'm a really big Sonic fan, so getting these games at the time was really disheartening. Besides Sonic Lost World, which was the game that had the most polish out of it, this lineup is really disappointing. And I'm not done collecting for the console. There's still so much more games I want to get for it, like Bayonetta 2 with 1 added to it, Breath of the Wild, Splatoon. Like I have a couple games I still want to grab, and I'm having an absolute blast collecting for this system. Sure, there's gonna be like Devil's Third, which I'll never get a copy of, and I think I'm gonna be okay with that. I think I'll sleep well at night knowing I won't have a copy of Devil's Third. However, if a copy does end up in my lap, I'm not gonna say no to it, you know what I mean? But most of the Wii U games are relatively cheap. You'll be spending like $30 at the most, maybe $45 if someone's being stingy with it. And honestly, right now, that's what's making collecting for this console fun. I grew up with the Wii U, so being able to live and experience some of the things that I missed out on as a kid, it's kind of cool, honestly. I wish Miiverse and stuff like that was still up, and I wish the online store was still open, but hey, what can you do? Too little, too late. Funny story about the eShop is that I heard the eShop was shutting down, so I went out to buy Wii U cards, and I was able to buy one, and I did manage to get 4 virtual console games. And with that, literally the next week I went out to buy another one. The eShop had shut down, so I was only able to get 4 titles off the eShop: Super Mario RPG, Animal Crossing, Super Mario 64 DS, and Pocky and Rocky 2 on GBA. The fact that there was DS virtual consoles on the Wii U showed a lot of potential for this console, but it just sucks that I missed it by like a week. Oh my god! So if you see any Wii U games out there for a decent price, get them. Just buy them, grab them, for real. What Nintendo thing has not gone up in price? The Wii U. And you want to know why? Because the Wii U literally just happened, so everything's still fresh before scalpers grab it. Like I said, some of these games are already going up, like the Zelda titles, so if you want to grab these games, I definitely recommend getting them now, because like these Zelda titles, these are only on Wii U. There's no Zelda collection on Switch. But well guys, that is going to do it for today. That was the Wii U. I am absolutely loving this console. I'm having a blast playing it. I'm having a blast reliving it. I don't even mind that the load times are long or anything like that. It's just such a neat time in Nintendo's history that I just can't get over. I adore the Wii U. I would like to get more Wii U games, of course, and they're always on the list, but we'll see when the time comes for that. I have an Instagram, I have an X, and you guys can go follow me. Both those links will be in the description down below. And hey, while you're down there, can we try to get this video up to 10 likes? That'll be much appreciated. Also, while you're down there, can I get you to hit that subscribe button and the bell for post notifications, because I wouldn't want you to miss a single upload of mine, and it would take like 3 seconds, and I would greatly appreciate it. And now for those daredevils out there, I do have a Patreon, and that will also be in the description down below. Feel free to donate to me if you want. Your support helps the channel. Well guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I got more Wii U to play. Just remember, you're not getting this anywhere else, because that's the Dankers difference.